Welcome to Hi Felicia. Hi Felicia, hi Felicia.
This is an emergency press conference. I got word today that Felicia, in an exciting move, watched and finished the 2-part documentary, Where Is Wendy Williams? I can't believe you got through it. I was like, you got to watch Wendy by the time we record next weekend. Now, I'm concerned by the time we record this coming weekend for our next episode that it's going to be like old news. So let's get into it. We're going to do a quick bonus episode to discuss the most uncomfortable train wreck of the year.
Ever.
What were your initial thoughts on this?
You're going to think I'm crazy.
I mean,
my initial thought was, she's such a mess, and I felt really bad. And this was done a year ago.
Correct.
Remember, this was
filmed.
It was a year ago.
It was over 22. Yeah.
Well, okay, 2 years ago, if you want to. And I'm hoping, I don't know what she's like as of today, as of now. However, what I did notice when she was in bed, which was a lot, on her headboard, did you know what I noticed?
Oh my God, I'm dying. What did you notice on the headboard?
The cat scratching. The headboard was a disaster. It was all ripped up. I don't know why I focused on that.
And somebody who worked for her said the place stunk of cat puke.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
So you noticed the cat. The reason why Felicia notices that because we have a cat who scratches our furniture. So wow. Did you notice that Wendy Williams and her son were executive producers on this?
Oh, good
Both.
For them. But I really
Which means they're looking for the money, of course.
They both need money.
So I will say this. If you haven't watched it, I think it's worth the watch. I watched it with Casey and he was very, very into it as well. We were riveted, very into it. Yes, we feel bad. Yes, it's sad. I do think all the drinking started once she got divorced, he cheated on her, and when her mother passed. I loved how close she was with her family. And this is what's killing me. Why isn't her family the guardian?
I don't understand this whole guardianship.
So for those that don't know,
they don't even let the guardianship, whoever was assigned, they're not even letting the family know what's happening.
It's fucked up.
Which
it's so
makes me
fucked
insane.
up. So apparently, Wendy's show gets canceled. She's mostly drunk during the last episodes. The executives at the Wendy Williams show were like, if you're going to come back, you need to have a perfect medical bill of health. And they end up canceling the show. And then in 2020, Wells Fargo, and she kept saying, Wells Fargo froze my money. Like she says that over and over and over again. They freeze her accounts because they notice a large withdrawal from her son. Now, according to her son, Kevin, who seemed so
sweet,
nice,
so
and
nice,
young
so nice
and lovely. He was like, my mom consented anytime I took out money. She flies to Florida. He's in Florida. Her dad's in Florida. Like all of her family is in Florida. She needs to get her fucking ass to Florida. Her son is trying so hard to make sure she doesn't drink, to make sure she goes to doctors. So they freeze her accounts. They think he's spending too much. And they assigned some rando who's obviously not in the documentary. And apparently, I read today on the New York Times said that the guardianship tried to block the resolution, the end of the documentary. They didn't want it to air.
I'm sure they did not.
And the judge shut it down. Like First Amendment, this could air.
Good for them. And I felt bad for her son and her nephew also seemed so concerned. And her niece, her nephew, her niece, her sister. I mean, her
all so
immediate
smart.
family. They really are. And her father was delightful. And he just had to shut his mouth when he realized whatever she was saying was not on point.
She's so confused. She's either drunk, hungover, or just so fucking out of it. Did you notice that she kept calling the documentary crew the podcast? She's like, we're doing a podcast.
Right.
The podcast is coming with us.
I don't know.
She doesn't even know what a fucking podcast is.
Exactly. I kept thinking she thinks she's going to be on TV. It's not. Podcast is only. And I don't know why that PR person
my God,
I wanted to kill her.
This girl, Sean, everybody was very unhappy. Well, very unhappy. Her family is unhappy with her. So Wendy has been working with the publicist for, it seems like about a year. Sean...
The publicist.
She's the yes person that her son, the reason why celebrities get away with everything is because they're surrounded by yes people. Sean was a yes person. Oh, you're great. You could come to this meeting. I'm going to set you up and let's fly to LA.
She should have been slapped.
She should have been fired. By the way, I wonder if she's still working with her now. So her manager seems great, Will.
Yes.
But he started out as a jeweler. He wasn't
I think it's the problem with Will is because he's not a healthcare professional.
None of them are healthcare professionals.
But he truly tried very hard, but he doesn't know how to deal with her.
Shame on the guardianship for not immediately saying this woman needs 24/7 care.
Right.
Right? Like, let's make sure she's not drinking. And what's crazy to me is, how is this woman alive? Because the minute you stop drinking, when you're that much of an alcoholic, you could have a seizure. Like, drinking is the one drug that kills you when you stop. You know that? Like, if you don't, you don't die from stopping heroin. Right. You die from overdosing on heroin. You could die from not drinking anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But she has so many issues. I mean, between her which I can't say, the lymphatica or something like that. Which
and
I don't.
It's, by the way, and the dementia is from the alcohol.
Well, that's what they say.
Alcohol induced dementia.
I know, but I don't know
the
if
Graves'
that's
disease. She kept showing everybody her foot. How were you cringing when she told?
Cringing.
She was telling she was like, oh, I told NBC Universal that
why this PR person didn't say, listen, Wendy, NBC's not happening. Not happening.
Because I think Sean was a naive.
I don't
think she was an idiot. I don't think she was trying to get money from her. I don't think she was taking advantage of her. I just think she was she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but that's beyond being an idiot.
It's was the family doing something actually shady that we don't know?
Well, we don't know that, but
were they trying to take her money?
I don't think so.
What do you think? Do you think she's that rich? How much money do you think Wendy has?
She spent whatever she had. I know she's spends an enormous amount on everything.
She loves spending her monty.
She loved.
But
God bless.
She can't spend it now, though.
Well, that's the thing. Last year, when this was done last year, her money was already froze.
Right.
So who's paying for the trips to LA and
who's paying
and
these
the dinners
people?
and the people and the people and buying
if
clothing?
If you're an older person, your generation, you get money, divvied out to you from your Merrill Lynch people,
right? And social, which she's not there yet.
She's 59.
She's not at social
how old
yet.
do you get social?
62 or 65, I don't remember, but she's not getting it yet.
The guardianship must be giving money for her to pay her.
Well, are they paying them? Who's paying the bill? They're paying it. Who is paying the bill? All the bills have to be paid.
So
her apartment, her phones, her car, the driver, food, and apparently she had no food in the house. She's bone skinny.
I know.
It was unbearable to watch.
You know what? I also I had a little PTSD because I've had some shitty bosses in the past with the way she spoke to people.
Oh, it was awful.
I was
awful.
First, I was like, "Oh, she's speaking to women," and then I realized, no, it's also to men.
Everybody.
And I wonder if she spoke to people this way before she was sick. Was she an awful person to work for?
God, we don't know.
However, I really hated how she spoke to people. Black China comes in.
I believe that she did not know who she was.
Oh, of course Wendy didn't know who she was.
Did not know.
No.
Did not know. And it was very sweet of Black China.
There was a moment, if you haven't seen it, where Black China comes in wearing sneakers, not a lot of makeup.
Looking regular.
And they have history, Wendy Williams threw her under the bus on the show.
Yes.
And by the way, I've heard Black China was awful to work with, but just this intimate moment, Wendy takes off her wig and Black China holds her face and hugs her and looks her right in the eye. And I'm like, oh my God.
But I still don't think Wendy knew who she was.
No, Wendy didn't know who she was. Wendy didn't know who her fucking niece was at first. I think Wendy knew who Black China was eventually.
Eventually, maybe. But did you realize also when they were having the dinner in Miami?
Oh my God, she called her brother
Kevin.
The son.
Right.
I know. Do you think that this was an exploitation of her? Should this have not been done? Should this documentary have not been done?
I don't know. It brings to light what it's like to have a sick or relative, or the whole thing was awful. It was really awful seeing her. And if you noticed her eyes, yes, they're bulging.
Why are they bulging?
Because of the Graves' disease.
The Graves' disease causes eye bulging.
Yes, but she also had big cysts. I don't know what they're called.
On the eye.
On the eye.
Yes, I saw
under
that.
the eye. Over the eye. I mean, I don't know the proper terminology. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, and I would not.
You
even
are
think
my
about
doctor,
it.
Felicia. I tell her this all the time. You're everyone's doctor, Felicia.
I know. We call ourselves, me and Arlene, Dr. Fluck and Fluck.
Fluck and Fluck. So I hope that, if anything, this documentary gives light to what the family needs, and that the guardianship is being reviewed in 2024 this year.
Not soon enough.
It gets reviewed every year, and I really hope that there'll be an update and that we'll find out. Homegirl needs to stay off television.
Totally. She can't be on TV.
And her thirst for the fame is so sad.
It is very sad.
Her standing on her Hollywood star just
pulling
waiting
people
for
over, people to recognize her.
It's so
and
awful.
even in the restaurant, she goes, "Do you know who I am? I'm Wendy Williams. Aren't I like fabulous?"
Why does she want to change her name then to Wendy Hunter for a new show?
I don't know because she's not using her right mind. I mean, her
She's
real
not.
name is Williams, not
I
Hunter.
know.
It's her married
I
name.
know.
She's not married anymore.
know.
So I don't understand.
Do you recommend? Do you think people should watch it? It's on Lifetime.
If you've seen Wendy Williams or if you're a Wendy Williams fan, I was never, by the way, a Wendy Williams fan, and I only started watching her when Oprah went off.
You and a bunch of other people.
Yes, obviously.
I never watched Wendy Williams.
I never
so the
watched
fact
it.
that you turned into Wendy after Oprah,
Right?
My God, they couldn't be
Because
any
I
two
probably
different
had time
women.
to kill. I probably had
you
time to kill.
definitely had time to kill.
Which apparently I have a lot of.
You're like
But-
Oprah's saving people. Wendy's just talking smack
just-
about people.
just throwing
but
people
you, I
under the
remember,
bus.
liked Wendy.
I did when I started watching her. I never ever watched her years ago, and I always kept thinking because she's very very tall. I kept thinking
5'10".
man.
Jesus Christ, Mom! You think everyone that's tall who's a woman is a man?
No, but she just I don't know. I know when
She's
you say that
5'10",
way. Is she
138 pounds.
Well, now
right now,
and
when
she
she boasted that.
her
for my gen. For my millennials, I suggest watching this. I didn't watch Wendy Williams. I didn't grow up on, Wendy.
No, we did not.
But she's in the pop culture zeitgeist, and I think, if you want to watch a car accident happening, this is the one to watch.
Or
But it's
a
also
train wreck.
really
It's a
fucking
train wreck.
car accident, all the fucking same. But it's sad,
Very.
and it does show like the family love.
Well,
Assuming they're really not fucking around.
I don't think they are, and I don't think
they
her
are either.
father is, and I don't think her.
Her brother
is.
did seem a little off.
Oh, her brother, who was
Whoa.
quite cute,
Who's quite cute.
he did seem off.
Something is up with him. I think he's also an alcoholic. Because
Maybe,
remember when he
yeah.
was like, "I'm gonna have a drink," and then somebody said,
the father said, I don't think this
"Not
is
the
a good
time. Don't have a
Right,
drink."
Right.
So
The
he's probably an
father was
alcoholic.
great, and I know she was affected by the mother.
How old do you think her parents were, or how old is Dad?
I assume she's in her late 50s.
She's
so
59, so he's got to be in his 80s.
yes,
Yeah.
close to 80, or yeah.
All right, that was our bonus. Thanks, Felicia, for stopping in for this
Stopping in
quickie.
on a Monday, which I was so comfy in my apartment.
I can't, Mom.
I'm
The
sorry.
sun is shining. Get the fuck out.
I got out. You got me out, Marni.
I'm so glad. So, where is Wendy Williams on Lifetime?
God knows.
And God bless to all who watch it. It's probably the reason I don't have a voice right now because I've been staying up watching content. All right, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Marni.
Do I sound like a man?
My Felicia, bye Felicia.